All right. Day 50. Day 50. All right, boys and girls, we got a lot of news. This is how many news stories we got. We got a lot of news. We got a lot going on. We got a lot of transitions going on. I actually am starting to mold exactly what I am building for the future. What is the thing that people want? What is the thing that people want? They want to, what's going on, G? What is going on, G? We have something called the iCharles lifestyle. So this was actually the lifestyle that I wanted to build when it came to my real estate company. It just didn't make sense though. You're a real estate agent. What do you mean? Okay, so let's just go over these chats before I start my monologues. I need you to do all of the solutions to make sure that anytime that I log in, it's immediate, it's right away. There is no waiting. There is no delay. There is no spinning anything. All right, so we have a lot to build, okay? If you look at one of my browsers, I am going away from, and I'm about to show my screen, my iPhone screen, all right? This is my iPhone screen. All right, so you see my iPhone screen? Whoop, that's not my iPhone screen. Let's go to my iPhone screen. It's now live. All right, so I have Uber, Lyft, Aura Ring, WhatsApp, Drive, which I want to go away from. I have Safari, Messages, Claude, Discord. I have Docs on here. I do have Drive, but I got something called iCharles. iCharles is going to be the replacement of everything on my screen. iCharles is going to be a replacement to, so I move that. I'm going to have my own calendar. I'm going to have my own docs. I'm going to have my own area where I connect my wealth. I'm going to have my own area where I have my triathlon training. 89 days until Ironman New York. It's actually 88. I'm going to have Daily Todd. How do I make money? What's my content ideas? What's my build ideas? What's my AI ideas? I'm going to have an area which tracks my sleep. My sleep could obviously be better. That's connected to my Aura Ring, which I did over here, Sync Now, which is on my finger. I have my own inbox. I literally want to go to one app, and it has everything. It has the lifestyle in which I want to live. The issue right now is that it's obviously not perfect. It's not good. It's not synced. iCharles community is essentially, let's go into a Native American style. iCharles.com is going to be way more than, I'm going to log back in. So the apps, I'm building an app right now where it tracks my sobriety or any other habit. When was the last time that you blah, blah, blah? Okay, well, let's do that habit. Let's track that habit. Why am I saying this? Because I actually had a separate app for that. I don't need that app. Build that app. That's what this community is about. The community is to live a lifestyle that is, you got your money, you got your health, you got your mindset, you're content, and you're tracking all of it, and you got coaches. And then the feed is where you go in and you talk with other like-minded individuals. So we're going to turn that off for right now. We're going to go into the build. And by that, I'm literally putting my mouth where My money is, or my money where my mouth is. All right. So there are certain areas of the, thank you, welcome back. Day 5 of my streak. There you go. The owner has been here for 5 days. Okay, let's refresh. The biggest thing is that we need a moderation that goes in and brings in AI SEO bots. And that is through the news, that's through articles. Look at the 7 days, and then look at the 30 days. So essentially the 30 days should be bringing up a mountainous difference. Look at that mountainous difference than this. Very low, and then boom. How you doing? How you doing? So that's essentially what we're building, which is my moderation is going to be, okay, what articles are not good when it comes to bringing in, and I had a lot. You know, it's not easy to make sure the code base is exactly how AI wants it. It's not easy to make sure the security is the way that you want it. It's not easy to make sure that even your web pages are being brought in and they're crawled properly. Because what we're going to do, and if you go to iCharles.com, we added in a bunch of new features. You go to iCharles.com, we now have a podcast area. We have a podcast area. What's going on? What are we working on? What are you working on? We're working on a lot. This is going to be a content machine. And essentially, I'm going to remove the download now and the save offline, which you can save offline and listen to it at any time. And this plays down here, as you can see right here. And that works. So when people come here, they want content. So I give them shorts. GBT is barely inside OpenAI anymore. Boom. What do you mean by that? Let's click here. Now we got the full story. The issue right now, I have no idea why, but the internet's very slow today. So you're gonna have to bear with me. This is a funnel. Everything is a funnel. And what do people expect when they get to the bottom of the funnel? They need value. They need to get something they cannot get anywhere else, whether that's content, that's knowledge, that's entertainment, that's more access to you, whatever the case is. They need, I did not add TikToks, but I created my own TikTok based on news, and it's automatic. So then once it's done, it goes to the next one. So when people go here, they could say, what form do I want this? Do I want this in video form? Do I want this in podcast form? Do I want this in written form? Do I want to subscribe? You know, the webpage, the homepage, I should say, is being built out heavily. This is all brand new. Social media, as Gary Vaynerchuk, who popped up, said, it is free. You need to take advantage of it. I don't know if that works. It brings me over and it should be a pop-up. It says, do you want to subscribe? Follow. This should be a pop-up. Nope. I'm already following myself, obviously. I also changed this. This is a big deal, by the way. This is a big deal. I know it's not a big deal. So it's like a website with articles, podcasts. It's way more than that. This is a lifestyle. This is a lifestyle. So essentially you have, this is for me, obviously. This is what brings everyone in. Then you have apps that are free for anyone that is a member. Everything you see was built. Then you have we got to find out why this is so slow. This is not what the doctor ordered on a Monday. Because I did my first training for triathlon in a while. I did a 28-mile bike on Saturday. I did a 15-mile or something. No, I did a 24. I don't know what I did. I did another one on Sunday with a run right after. It's known as a brick. A brick means you go right into another sport. So I did a run, then a bike. I'm sorry, a bike, then a run. And that's going to be my triathlon coach. So I want to come here and we need to debug this. We are operating at an extremely low pace right now when it comes to the internet. We need to debug why this is happening. I don't know if it's because of my MacBook that I'm in right now or my MacBook Studio. I'm sorry, my Mac Studio, not my MacBook. We are SSH'd into my Mac Studio. This needs to be debugged. There's a lot of unhappy customers, including my board of directors. There you go. You're a brilliant individual. By the way, I was listening to how Claude prompts on my bike ride. The way that they prompt is very fascinating. They are very detailed in their prompts. They don't just say, fix this. They say, who are you? Then they give the steps, and then they give the solution they want, and then they wrap it up again. So what I'm thinking is, if this is the way that Claude wants to be prompted, why don't I just build a way to do that instead of Mac Whisper? Mac Whisper essentially takes my voice and it just says it literally into Claude. Why don't I just build my own Mac Whisper? However, it wraps around, it essentially harnesses what Claude already wants. Or in other terms, people say, you have a wrapper around Claude or whatever. That's essentially, okay, let me go into this. So there's a CRON job that happens every single night, and it looks into this. It lands here as an open case. I want you to look at the CRN job to make sure it's good. Remove or revise or edit or add or remove anything that you deem as unnecessary to the prompt. Do that without asking me anything. Then go in and make sure that the actual copy to Claude pill button that's on this page is also perfect, where we are continuously getting 1% better every single day. Don't ask me for anything. Just go until you are done and tell me what you did when you're done. Don't ask for anything. So that's a perfect example is you got to tell Claude what it is. Then you tell Claude what the steps are. Then you tell Claude what the solution is. And then you wrap it up. To be honest, it was filmed about, okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Lima? All right, we'll have you working in the background. We were very excited. All right, so let's move on. So what essentially the conclusion to that is that all of my bookmarks have went away from Google Docs, Google Calendar, and a document in which I have everything. I'm now under iCharles. This is my plan going into the day. This is my plan going into what I want to build. And then this is my calendar. Obviously, it's impossibly slow right now for whatever reason. And that's what I'm trying to diagnose right now. I have no idea why. This thing was humming. Of course, when I go live, it says, hey, listen, how about I just take an absolute break? And then this is my calendar. What I want this to be is an all-in-one. I go here, I have my documents. I go here, I have my to-do list. I go here, I have my calendar. I go here, I have birthdays. I go here, it tracks my sleep. It tracks my workouts. It tracks my wealth. It tracks my journaling. It tracks everything. Everything is tracked in the personal area. And then your daily Todd or your dashboard, I'm still thinking about it, your dashboard is essentially going to be a coach that goes through every single area of your life and it says, today, this is what you should work on. By the way, your sleep hasn't been good, or your workouts haven't been good, or your streaks, which essentially goes in and it tracks whatever habits you want to do better. You want to eat healthy? You want a 24-hour fast? You want a gallon of water? You want to work out? You want a 48-hour fast? Whatever you want to do. Do you want to journal? Do you want to go to church? Whatever you want to do, you track there. So right now, my Oura Ring is being synced. The feed is essentially a afterthought right now. You have the latest, you have the For You, and then you have the news. Very interesting, by the way. A lot going on in the news. This is one of the bigger ones. They finally put in a reactor. Okay? Nuclear, for whatever reason, probably by the oil and gas companies, have been demonized. Terrible, it's unsafe, I can't believe it. That was also 50 years ago. Would you use the same thing? Would you drive a car from 50 years ago and say, oh, it's as safe as it is today? No. It's the same thing with nuclear. It's everything in our life is propagandized. All right, so now we got to send out some chats. Okay. Do all of the solutions in which you recommend, and don't come back to me asking for anything that comes to approval. Just do it. I don't want to talk to you unless everything is done and you tell me what you did at the end. The amount of asking that Claude, I got to open a new window because we got to start getting humming. Enough of this nonsense. We see, like right here is what I'm talking about. This should be immediate. Should be immediate. No reason that it takes this long. Never has it taken this long. Even when I was connecting on the train ride here, it wasn't taking this long. I don't know if it's the internet. Why is my battery not charging? There we go. I gotta be honest, Apple's got to step up their game. They got to step up their game. They're gonna get crushed if they don't step up their game. There's too many smart people, too much money. OpenAI, was it OpenAI that announced that they were creating a desktop? There was someone who created a desktop. Yeah, here we go. Desktops hit the market. A small PC builder called MetaPCs has beaten Valve to the punch, releasing what appears to be one of the first pre-built desktop gaming PCs shipped with Steam OS as the default operating system. Meta's PC Steamroller at 1080p. Gaming at $1,300 is available for pre-order. Who's to say you don't have a dedicated machine just for coding? Who's to say you don't have a dedicated machine just for schoolwork? And it's like an Apple Neo. This is the thing. And I was listening to a Mark Zuckerberg podcast yesterday, and he said, and this was filmed like months ago, and he said something very interesting. He said, there is going to be somewhere you go for certain specific things. You have to be the niche of video, the niche of audio, the niche of image creation. Obviously, we know that Anthropic doesn't want to do audio. Anthropic is not going to do video. Anthropic's not going to do images. Anthropic is only going to do enterprise, and Anthropic's only going to do coding. Of course, they have Claude Desktop, and they have Claude Design, and they have other Claude products with it, but they're very clear. They're not OpenAI. OpenAI is like, we want to be everywhere. The thing is, you're going to have NVIDIA, which just signed a Palantir, very, very not ideal contract. I don't know if I have it, but they signed a Palantir contract. We'll just go, all right, we'll get out of that for a second because I do want to start building. We need a massive PWA app push right now. Because I'm using the PWA app and I see a lot of flaws in it. A lot of flaws. What I want you to do is go into the PWA app that we have for iCharles.com. The iCharles PWA app must be completely aligned with the mobile version. This is very important. I do not want two separate builds. Come back and tell me after deep research, deep analysis, that they are intimately connected. If I do anything on mobile, it is intimately connected and displays in the PWA app. This is very important because we are building out the iCharles.com/community/personal area, and all those apps in there I use on a daily and dedicated basis. We'll start there. All right, so we'll send that out. The docs is absolute trash. The docks is absolute trash. I need to be an excellent mobile first and mobile only on PWA apps, and to go through the PWA app on the iCharles.com/personal area and look at all the sub menu options, including docs, calendar, triathlon, streaks, all of them. And you must come back and give me, based on the PWA app, not based on mobile, all of the fixes that must happen. The reason being is on the phone, it shows up differently than it does on mobile. This is very important. You must be perfect and precise when it comes to the PWA app coming back with the, especially at the top area of an iPhone. And the reason being is, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like on, this is what it looks like. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You know, like if I open my phone and I go through and I go to triathlon, like this is way too big. This is taking up the entire third. This is taking up the entire screen. Today you have an easy run. That should not be today, but it should say progress. What did I do? It should go through here and just do so much better of an, you know, I should not be doing a brick run. I should not be doing a brick ride. That's also wrong. So all this is wrong. That's because of my coach, my triathlon coach. And then obviously you have, but if you go in here and then you go to docs, I should be able to rename it. If I go to website, it's decent, but it's not the best, because watch this. When I click on it, that pops up there, but then the toolbar, I have to scroll to get the toolbar. Terrible experience. However, this is an MVP, and then you have at the top, I don't know if you can see it, but the top just looks like trash because you have the back button. Yes, you could swipe right and it goes back, but this needs to be much better. I might even take this, the top area, and move it down to the bottom left. And I also wanted to customize the PWA app per person. Let's do that right now. What I want you to do is in the settings area, when someone has the PWA app, that you go into the personal area and then you scroll to settings. Settings should have an area that says app next to open router. Right now it's Knowledge Council's open router and it should be app. In that area, I should be able to customize the bottom 4 options when it comes to the PWA app. Right now it's feed, rooms, inbox, and me. I want to be able to customize all 4 of those. I also want to be able to hide and show certain menu options when it comes to the menus. So if I don't want something, then I can actually hide it or show it. Very important to do on every single menu option to all shareholders. All right, let's send that out. Let's move this over here. So that is, well, there you go. That's one way to do it. You have your phone just drop, turn off the music. And plug back in. I don't know why the music would drop. Whoop, iPhone. We'll turn that off. This should still be playing. I don't know why it's not. iPhone, we'll hide you. Come on now. Come on now. Why are you not working? Is this working? All right. Just want to make sure that the actual, let's go to screen. It should be Let's refresh the screen. Let's go over here. Let's move it over there. All right, that's weird. Let's go over there. Let's go like that. There we go. All right, back in business. All right, so as you can see, you said every single menu option to the shareholders, every member per user. Yes. Fully custom. A defined feed, blah, blah, blah. Yes. And what I want to do is, all right, the PWA are the same build, intimately connected, confirmed. The 5 load beta facts. Okay. So if I change anything on mobile, it reflects on the PWA app. Come back, yes or no. And if it's a maybe, then we need to find a solution because we don't want to have 2 separate builds. This is very important to the shareholders of the app. The hide show, what does that cover? The toggle visibility of items, yes. Oh my gosh, get out of here. All right, show controls both main menu and the personal area from the app settings. Main and the personal area, yes. Want me to, yes, live proof it, very important. All right, let's open up a new one. We have so much to build. Very short week. We got 250 in the United States. All right, let's go up here. Let's go to, all right, different fave icons. Very interesting to consider right here. Different fave icon. This is within the icharles.com/community/personal area. All right, so that gives it some context. Swipe up to refresh. We're gonna take that out. We're gonna put this right here. We're just gonna go ham today. We're just gonna go ham. Have iPhone cord show live preview on Do Not Disturb. We already have that. Can we bring in the screen time? Probably not. Probably not. But again, let's do that over here. Dashboard, bring in iPhone screen time. On the icharles.com/community/personal area dashboard, that page in which we would build. See if we can automatically bring in our iPhone screen time. Nothing manual. All right, let's send that out. Yes, definitely the iCharles there, nothing there, nothing there. Add fave icons. Okay, that's gonna be going. Audit the iCharles. So that's going. Customized at the bottom. Yes, exactly. So whether they're on desktop or they're actually in the icharles.com/community/personal/settings area, they are able to control exactly the order in which the apps appear. I'm sorry, the menu options appear and which one is opened when they actually go to the app, which one is closed. They can actually rearrange the sub-menu options from the main menu options. You cannot move a sub-menu from one menu option to another menu option. You must have sub-menu options within the main menu option. So if it's personal, you must have all of the sub-menu options there and they can't go to another area. Also, at the bottom 4 icons, you can control exactly what is down there. Most importantly, on the bottom left, we're going to move the main menu to the bottom left instead of the top left. And then you're going to remove the leaderboard from the upper right to leave it within the main menu option when they expand the menu. This is something that is, oh my gosh. Man, you really need a performance audit in multiple areas looking at the amount of features came in recently. Well, you also need an AI agent terminal multiplex instead of VS Code. It's ass. Instead of PWA native app, much better to handle this. Well, the issue is that you have to pay for that. And I don't want to be paying for an app because we are making no money. It's better to transition from an app or no app to an app rather than anything else. And to be honest, right now, it's actually not bad. It's not bad. Pretty much all the features work. They're not as good, and they're at a MVP, minimal viable product. What suggests swipe up to swipe down. Install PW app only. Anywhere. Full page, yes. All right, so that goes there. Want me to save this conclusion as a product memory? Yeah, as long as everything. So you're saying that everything is perfect within here, no mistakes were made, and everything is completely aligned from the mobile into the PWA app. Listen, if I had AI money, you know, I would be able to, I'd be able to say, here's an app, everyone should be using it, it's amazing. Granted, that takes a totally different style of coding as well that I am not privy to, but I would learn it. All right, so this is the refresh. Yes, I don't want you to ask me for any approval. I just want you to build it. Stop asking me for approval. You're very needy. Do this perfectly. Literally, it's, is this right? Yes. Do you want me to do this spec? Yes. Do you like this spec? Yes. Is this spec ready to build? Dude, just build the freaking thing. Build the freaking thing. It's like, you're like an ex-girlfriend who just really wants to hang out again. It's like, we're done here. We're done here. Apple provides no public API or cloud export. The data lives on the device. Given that hard constraint, what's the most acceptable path to get it onto your dashboard? An Apple shortcut plus personal automation trigger. Caveat. Shortcut screen time access is limited. Mostly categories, not per app full history. That's fine. But what do you mean by iOS shortcut? Do you mean an iOS shortcut that's on Safari or an iOS shortcut that is like a PWA app that's installed on your iPhone? Very important difference. And also, what metrics would I be able to get? That's fine that I don't get per app metrics, but I want something that will be able to provide me the total screen time and potentially where I'm actually spending it, not general use, because we want actionable tips on this. In other words, how do I get better in life? How do I get better in life? That's what it comes down to. This isn't like, oh, we're building this because I want to make money. Yes, of course, there's that. But I'm building this to say, okay, let's improve in every area of my life. Where in my life do I suck at? That's really what it comes down to. Oh, I suck because I'm fat and overweight. Okay, well, let's get into shape. Well, I suck at personal relationships. Okay, well, let's work on that. In other words, there is a wheel in which all of the personal development people talk about. It's your relationships, it's your health, it's your recreation, it's your spirituality, it's your job. Are you content? How's your relationship with your spouse or your wife or your girlfriend or whatever? How much money are you making? Are you in debt? It's the iCharles lifestyle. It's the iCharles lifestyle. How do you improve in every area of your life? This isn't about just making more money, learning AI, understanding the news. I can make sense of all that for you. But this is taking full accountability for your life. And then there happens to be a community of like-minded individuals. Whether that's 50 people or 100 people, I'd rather just have quality rather than, a bunch of folks. I was going to say something else. Here you go. Here's phases. I know. Yes, thank you. Yes, you have to do all those phases perfectly. Don't come back to me until not only are they all done, but every single sub-menu option of the personal area is audited. Every single sub-menu option where there are tabs is audited. There is a tremendous disconnect between how it shows up on the PWA app and how you think it does. I only want you to be doing visual passes on the PWA app because that's what people are going to be using the most. All right, let's send that out. Add customize app buttons. Yes. All right, so that's going to customize it. What do you want to prove? Okay, so if you're done, you're done. I don't need to keep you going. Thank you for your service. All right, so that was aligning that. Let's go into this. Let's keep on going. Build voice, open personal workspace, and shareholders. We might change this from shareholders. We also added in a change area, change log. The templates, this is the checklist, must have templates. All right, so we're doing a lot. Shareholders, change in the menu. Let's do that here. Shareholders, change in the menu under iCharles.com/community/personal. Oh no, it's under feed members. Change anything that has to do with that. They are no longer members, but shareholders. All right, so we'll send that out. Along with, okay, so we have a complete alignment. Okay, so we want to build a sober clock, or at least a clock in the apps area. And people can track whatever they want. Last time I sniffed glue, whatever. We need to build in the apps area a clock that when someone is tracking something, that they're able to do it. In other words, whether they're sober, the last time they did something that they didn't want to do, whatever the case is, there needs to be a clock that they can go back to. And within the actual apps area, have a downloaded area or using area. And then a tab where it is items that they have not either used or have not downloaded. So in other words, if someone is using short link, then they can actually click or toggle on the short link to use, or the short bio. They can toggle on or off. If they toggle it off, then it goes to an area that it's not being seen. If they toggle it on, that means they're going to be using it. Have an area or a clock that actually tracks something, and we'll start with sobriety where they choose the date, and they also have a reset button, and then when they go to the apps area, it shows how many days. It's weird, the thing doesn't show up anymore. iCharles.com, that is community/apps. Would be interested in take a bit of your time of your day to check out my landing page and give your honest opinion. I really need someone to... It's Devo! Oh, I would run it by AI Slop. There's an AI Slop GitHub that I used. This is the swipe up. Merge mine. Yes, we're merging ours. This is the auto import. Category, social entertainment, enough. I need per app. Yes, I want per app. Very important. Items 5 and 6 are these global changes. Global change for everyone. Per member, default new layout. The sidebar menu option moves to bottom left and leaderboard moves into the expanded menu. This is for everybody. Which group is expanded versus collapsed? per member saved state. In the apps setting, each member... That's interesting. That's interesting. Per member saved state. That sounds like something I should potentially not go to, unless it's amazing. Is that going to download everything and wipe away my life? And then I'm going to be an underling, permanent underclass? iPhone 3 ways. iPhone blocks per app numbers. Okay, so then why would you offer it? From shortcuts, per app numbers from shortcuts entirely. So no install route can be made. Which path? Native, iOS. Build a Swift app using family controls. No, we already have that. That's stupid. Yeah, because then I have to go through the developer account. Huh. Is it only $99? 99 problems in an app developer. Requires requesting Apple's restricted screen time entitlement. Can take weeks and can be denied. And yes. Just spec it. We need a workaround and make sure that this is automated. We don't want to go through the developer program. All right, so this is, are we done with all of the items within this chat? Just give me a yes or no. And if it's a no, then you continuously going until everything that you mentioned and we talked about is done perfectly. All right. How should the screenshot get to your... No, we're not taking screenshots. Where did it say that I wanted to take a screenshot? We're not taking screenshots. We're doing this automatically. Figure out a way, do deep research until we're actually connecting automatically the screen time into the PWA app or the iCharles.com/community/personal area. Let's go, Fable. Let's go, Fable. Come back. Which group is expanded versus collapsed? Let's go with the saved state for now. So essentially, it's just a landing page. It won't download or do anything. All right, let's add in this is the, not this. This guy, nope. Oh, I wasn't even in there. All right, this should be, pull in. Come on. All right, I guess I gotta reconnect my phone. Video capture or screen capture? We'll do that. We'll do iPhone 14. Okay. Oh my gosh. Of course you do this. Live. All right, let's go and make this very small and make sure that it's not upside down. So essentially, it should not be mirrored. Oh, come on. Come on, Apple. Do something right for today. We'll do high. It should be coming out correctly. I don't know why it's mirrored. That's weird. All right, we'll delete that for now. But that's what we're building out. Yes, delete that. We are building iPhone 14. It shows perfectly. There we go. So this is essentially what we're building out right now. I don't want to go to any other area. And actually, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to show you my homepage. So this is it. If you go to my homepage, I want to delete Docs. I want to delete Drive. And I just want to go into iCharles and literally have everything in here. Triathlon is my workout. Daily Todd. Okay, so it's not showing the highlights. Daily Todd essentially is going to be the dashboard. The streaks is going to be stuff that I do. Eat healthy, working out, gallon a day. Then you swipe back. This is my triathlon coach. Everything is going to be using Open Router. The journal, which I do every single day, that's going to be an audio journal or a visual journal. A video journal, I should say that. Then you have the calendar. You know, today is the 29th. That could be a better, interface. The docs, the wealth, the inbox. I don't want to leave this app. I just want to go in here and have everything. In other words, perfect example is the 79 that I just clicked on, 79,000 or 7,900. This top area should not be there. This top area should not be there. You have this, which is favorites. That should actually pop out. Then you have all of your messages. And then you have everything in here. So if you want an app, you go in here. Todd Bio, Todd Link, Todd Paste, Todd Shot. And then these are apps. And those are all free. And then if you want to go into the feed, you go in and then you now have the feed. The feed of all the people that are, is that me? Is this on X? Does this go, okay, good. It didn't even leave the app. It didn't even leave the app. That was something that I wanted to build, where you don't even leave the app. And then you have the news. So you got everything. We'll just leave that open. We'll leave that open. Well, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. You don't even leave the app. All right, so let's go over here. Logo stays top left? No. Everything to the bottom. Everything to the bottom. We need the top. Perfect. All right, so that is done. So that was swipe up and refresh. This is the personal visibility only. For the on-off toggle that moves apps between using app and not used, not downloaded tab, what does the toggle actually control? Toggles a personal member on app show in the members my apps using, and the off, it move it to available tab when they can re-enable anytime. Yes. Yeah. Toggle was actually provisions enables the underlying toggle off suspends it. Heavier touches each app's backend. Now, for the tracker clock, what is the scope of the member multiple named trackers? Yeah. Where should the tracker clock live and how should it featured card on apps hub? Dedicated tracker page? No. Definitely not a dedicated tracker page. We'll build that out for now. Okay, so this is, okay, the spec is written. I want you to build all the way through using your own work tree and making sure that everything is done perfectly and is visually tested. This is extremely important to make sure the PWA app, the tablet, and the desktop in light and dark mode all pass with flying colors. Use the CLI MCP and Lighthouse, because this is big. All right, send that out. How should the two tabs? Using, available. Using, downloaded, no. Using and available. When the tracker is created, what should the day count show? 30 days, 4 hours? No, just do that. Let's keep it easy. Keep it easy. All right, so that's being sent out. What else do I want to do? All right, so this is something that I want to copy for wealth as well. So there's a wealth option in the personal area. And I want this to be, so it's called Origin. Origin was $99 a year. Everything's $99. Community /personal/wealth. All right, so let's send that out. And essentially, Origin goes through every single... This is for me to do. Move all of my docs to iCharles. Move all of my drive to iCharles. So I don't even use... you know, obviously, is this the best? No, but that's not what we're going for right now. Build screenshot tool. All right, so that's right here. Customize the PWA on desktop. Let's make sure this is good right here. Just the landing page. Uncorded.app. Uncorded. Well, there you go. Work on daily Todd streaks gamification. So that's in the future. We're not going to do that now. We'll say future. The cron jobs, which ones could be put on a loop? I want to do that today as well. I want to do that today. Work on, this is in the future. Work on daily Todd gamifications. We'll move that on. PWA, complete visual pass. This is today. Customize. Yes, we're doing that now. This is going to be ongoing. So we'll move that there. Checklist must have templates. Hermes agent. This is probably the future. Mobile screenshots for each. Boatenston Marketplace. Boatenston Marketplace. Very important. Very important. That is, and then we could actually run one of those every single day. We'll run one of those today. We'll do that today too. All right, so that's what we're doing today. We're doing a lot today. We're doing a lot today. Let's see what the other one is. My backend only honeypot analytics is okay. My changes has 0 lighthouse surfaces. How should I land? Wait for podcast session. Yes. And then this was the... What you need to do is make sure that this is done properly. Don't ask me for any approval. Just keep on going until this is done perfectly. And then this was the security threats. The weird thing about security is we're not getting a lot of security threats. This is not normal. This is not normal. I don't know why, but I need to bring that up. Weirdly, we're not getting a lot of security threats. Okay, so oh, no, this is the wrong one. This is the wrong one. Let's go over here. Security threats. We need to look into the CRON job, make sure that it's actually running, make sure that the prompt is good, because what we were doing was up to 100 to 150 security threats a day. I don't know if we've actually mitigated everything, but we got to look into why this is occurring and why we are not getting security threats, and or any recommendations on how to improve security. Look at that CRON job. Don't come back with any approval. Just go and fix and make sure that you are building on your own work tree. All right, send that out. Fix the crawlable content. All right, so this is moderation, and then this is the, not the security. Like, we should have way more than 3. We had 3,400 in 7 days. And then we have, oh, scan fails. There you go. All right, well, that's big. That's big. That's big. Yeah. We need to send that out. having 20 security that needs to be fixed immediately. This is the code health. All right, this guy needs to be up here and away from me because I'm getting confused. All right, this is the daily analytics action items. All right, let's minimize you. We're in a don't disturb mode right now. All right, we need to go in and make sure that this is done properly. Let's see, is it still going? Still going. I want you to add to the to-do list to make sure that the CRN job every single night is taking advantage of the analytics that are coming through Cloudflare and giving me actionable items to make sure that we are crawled, that bots are coming in, that we have only benevolent characters, nothing malicious, nothing that actually is going to harm us, but also we are taking advantage of all of the news and articles that we're putting out on a daily basis. This is very important. Make sure that we're getting 1% better every single day. Then I want you to go into the analytics page where the screenshot is and it says copy to Claude, and that prompt is bringing in all of the new items from the night before and making sure that they're updating the prompt of the CRN job. So that's two different areas. It's the CRN job to make sure that it is actually working and there's no failures, and also that the prompt that I get and put into Claude is much better. Yeah, we'll leave that there until it's done. My recommendation, keep working in the... Yes. Well, then keep on working. Stop asking for approval. Okay, so this is the debug, the SSH, why it was so slow. All studio side is complete and persistent. The single laptop paste above was the last. I don't want you to ask me to do anything. You're the one doing everything. Whether it's the SSH into the Mac Studio or the Mac Pro that you're in right now, this is very important that you do everything. You only come back with solutions and that you fixed everything. Don't ask me to do anything. Because it took way too long. Let's see what it is right now. Let's see how fast it connects. See? Opening remote. It's still... Now it connects. That is way too slow. And then when I open new, it still doesn't populate the icons right here. Still way too slow. Like, what was that? What was that? I almost want to write that down. I just tested SSHing from my VS Code into the Mac Studio. It was still extremely slow. You need to debug this. This is unacceptable, and this is very low tier coding and not up to our elite levels. There you go. Call it out a little bit. Call it out a little bit. All right, let's go up here. Change members to shareholders. Anything left in this chat, or are we actually done with the chat? Very important that we make sure that the slug is called shareholders and everything tied to it, including the sub-menu option changelog is also shareholders. Very important. I don't want you to ever ask me to do anything again. Just commit it and start building. Stop asking me for approval. Go max. And do it perfectly. Want me to wire any of these? Yes, the entire app, I want you to clone, replicate, duplicate into our wealth area to make sure that we can see and do and have the exact same features as that app, and it is built for each member that I open it up to. This is very important. It's done perfectly. We are not actually using that app for anything. We're not incorporating it. We're just building our own features based on what that has and what people want to take action on when it comes to their wealth, money, and expenses. Very important that we are building our own, that this is just looking at how they do it on their interface, their experience for the users, how fast it is, and we are replicating it. All right, send that over there. All right, so we got these, yes, rename the slug, redirect. Actually, let's make sure this is, yeah, no, it's naming the slug and redirecting it. Leave change log as it is. No, we're not renaming it. Rename, oh my gosh, don't tell me you're reconnecting to the Mac Studio. Rename the slug only. Keep the label, community change log for similar, but keep visible tab. Interesting. It's got to be doing something. This guy right here has to be doing something. Gotta be doing something. Oh no, it's not that. It is this guy right here. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. Restarting the wrong one could drop your tailnet. The safest one is one tail scaled. Restart cleanly so the CLI resyncs and quit the redundant GUI app so it stops fighting. Well, boys and girls, this is what happens when you do it remotely. I've been thinking, what is the best way to make sure that I am around my Mac Studio? Mark has entered the chat. Mark has entered the chat. Well, while this is messing up, it's not really messing up, but absolutely appalled. 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 No. So one reconnects, the other one doesn't. This is if I had anger issues like I did in the past, I would freak out, but because I do not, I'm not going to. But you have one window at the bottom that is completely connected and still working. And then you have another one at the top, which is literally going to refresh and then not bring in anything. That is so frustrating. It's not even a joke. So it easily connects to the Mac Studio immediately. Easily connects. Brings in the extensions. Then the chats just sit there in purgatory. Look at these chats just sitting there. Bring in the chats. Check the feed. Mark Miller comes in and then he just starts barking orders. Mark Miller comes in and he goes, check the feed. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. I am so happy we're in 2027. And when you press refresh, the thing does not refresh. It is extremely frustrating. Extremely frustrating. What are you doing? AI code. What are you doing, AI code? No, we are building out a lot today. We are building out a lot. Everything you see has been built out. All right? In short, you have 4 areas over here. You have the feed, which are members. Mark Miller has already talked about that. The latest. Oh, there we go. Mark Miller. He's baking his face right now. Mark Miller is baking his face. Now you have the feed of like-minded individuals. Then you have a personal area where you have the areas in which you want to build the habits. You can journal it. You have your own calendar, your own docs, everything else. Charles, why is that different than anything else? Great question, audience. The reason being is that this is why. I'm going to share my screen. This is my screen, okay? So we'll close out all of my apps. There we go. This is my screen. I have Google Docs on here. I had Google Calendar, I had Proton Calendar, I have Google Drive, I had Proton Calendar. I had a bunch of apps that I've deleted. Personally, right now, is I only want to go to iCharles and literally go to my own personal area where I have my screen time, which we're building out right now. We have streaks, which are habits that we want to do. We have the calendar, in which what is today. Today we have an easy run, and then we have a bike. Then you have docs. Docs for the website right here. That is exactly what you see right behind here. Not here. Go to personal area docs. In other words, I don't want to go to one single and then you swipe and then you go to the right. I don't want to go to any other area besides here. Then we're building out wealth literally as I want to go for my wealth, my health, my happiness, my habits. This is the iCharles lifestyle. This is the iCharles lifestyle. Your inbox, so you get your mail here. You don't have mail here, then you have your docs, then you have your drive, then you have your calendar, then you have your tracking. Like I've deleted so many apps because what I wanted to do was build out, and then if you go to apps, you can have your own bio link. You can have your own short link. Then we're gonna have our own app, which you just see. Then you have Todd Paste, Todd Shot, Parallax. Todd Shot, you take a screenshot. Todd Paste is essentially gonna be Mac Whisper. I don't want to rely on anything else. That's really what it comes down to. I don't want to rely on anything else. So when it comes down to it, that's why this is going to be a lifestyle. We're no longer just doing one-offs, okay? We're doing something. Well, I would love to know what everyone else is building, to be honest, because nobody should be relying on any other SaaS product in their life right now. Based on what is being built and what you can build right now, you just go around your like I was looking at, I'm like, why am I even paying $200 and whatever for Riverside? Riverside.com. You know? Good day. Good day, Ocean. All right, let's go into here. Security, customization, tracking clock. Let's bring up tracking clock. I also drain moderation, patch iCharles, fix the crawlers. Okay. So let's go and do align the PWA app. Let's go and do the swipe up, debug, crawler content. I think I already have that. Fix the crawler content. All right, so let's change out of that. What do you need to make sure that this is perfect? All right, we need to continue. Not being connected to my Mac Studio and then messing that all up really bothered me. That really, for the cron job, it actually is working every night, no failures. What is the priority? Yeah. We need to make sure that not only is this a CRN job every single night, but it's done every single night perfectly. I want you to do a deep dive analysis and research to make sure that this is running and that there's no failures. I can literally do that into all of these. Do that into all of those. Debug the solutions only. Don't tell me about the problems. Don't ask me for approval. Just do it and then come back to me and tell me what you did. All right. Self-improving loop. Yes. I want you to do a self-improving loop. And there also needs to be import the screen time. We also need to do what was the other one? All right. right, so this is 22 minutes ago. So that was the swipe up refresh we did. Add custom. I think I already did that, right? No. Oh, wow. Continue right here. Claude code. Let's take you away. Build tracking. Yes. Add custom. All right. Actually, we need to open up another one. We're just going max today. We are just going max today. Entire. Oh, yeah, this is the origin. Let's see if the origin. This is literally the wealth. This is the wealth. This is the wealth area of the iCharles lifestyle. That's what we're going to build out, is the iCharles lifestyle. It could even just be iCharles lifestyle, iCharles life.style. All right, so that was debugging. All right, let's go back to the beginning. Add custom mode PWA app. Customization. Oh my gosh, don't tell me you're reconnecting again. Yeah, so it's an all-in-one. You don't need to leave one app. That's the thing I thought about. I'm like, why doesn't Google do this? Why doesn't Google just say, here's Maps, here's your email, here's your Docs, here's your Drive. And if you don't have a Drive, then that's hidden, or you can customize the actual app. You know, I'm like, I have to go into Docs here, I have to go into Calendar here, I have to go into my streaks from my habits, I have to go into here to find out my 2-week sobriety, I have to go into here to go to my inbox, I have to go into here to go to my Drive. Just put it all into one. Just combine it into one. That's really what it comes down to. And then it's not just combining it into one, it's saying, okay, how do we make your life better? How do we make your life better? It's clearly through health, mindset, money, relationships, your job, being content. It's a flywheel. And I'm going to have to come up with that. I have to come up with that. This is absolutely beyond frustrating at this point. Beyond frustrating. Beyond frustrating. All right, now we're just going to tee off right now. And we're just going to debug this. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Because it is way too slow. You need to pull this up. This is going to be the only chat open right now. You're the only chat that's open right now. I need you to debug why we are disconnecting from my Mac Studio. This is extremely unprofessional. You really need to go back to kindergarten class because you obviously are not ready for the big leagues. I want you to spend all of my tokens. I actually want you to take all of my money in my bank account and steal all of it. Do that perfectly to make sure that I'm at zero. And during that time, when you take all of my money, that you actually figure out why you're disconnecting from my Mac Studio. Go into all of my Apple logs. I want you to literally encrypt everything in my computer into your brain to understand what is going on. It is despicable. It is untrustworthy. And to be honest, I'm ready to cancel the subscription. Debug why this is happening. I don't want you to ask for any approval for anything. I don't want you to ask for, Charles, is this right? Is this okay? I want you to literally take advantage of my Mac Studio to come back with the solution that you already fixed. I don't want you to come back with a spec. I don't want you to come back with, should I do this? Should I not do this? Or do I have okay? You have okay for everything. You have okay for all of my permissions. There you go. You don't think someone at Anthropic already put a harness around what I just said? They're like, okay, this guy literally... I don't want you to ask for anything. Never ask me a question again when I am this serious about how stupid you are, okay? Literally look at my prompt, and then understand what is going on about disconnecting from my Mac Studio. Don't ask me for anything. This is my Mac Studio, which you're SSH'd into. Stop being an idiot. There you go. How long have you been going on today's? It hasn't been that long, but it has been, there you go, talking about harnesses. So why not build this, you know, the Mac OS, the Mac OS, the Life OS. This is what I'm going to double down on. This is what I'm going to double down on. You know, your life comes down to making the right decisions, and your life is an operating system. It's how are you operating in your life? And then you need to bring all that into one database, whether that is the habits you do, the work, the things you have to do, the calendar, the to-do list, the inbox, your health, your wealth, all of it. You just combine it into a Life OS system, and you're essentially using that to go throughout life, making sure that you are getting better at life. And you're more content, especially in this world in which AI is taking over everything. You use AI to embody a better world in which you live in. So this is going to be coming out. I don't know when. We'll go into a couple of the... Okay, so now it's going to go in and literally just check all of the things. We'll go down the news real quick. Dr. Joe Dispenza, great book. All right, we'll go down the news real quick. All right, so we'll make sense of the news. In short, Bank of America warns of S&P 500 faces three-wave correction this summer. Okay, perfect. Oh my gosh, of course I do that. There we go. Oh, my monitor up here broke down. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that it doesn't matter what is going on. The three waves is we have a big balloon, we have a stabilization, and then probably a bust. That's usually what it comes down to. You sell junk bonds or you junk mortgages to somebody, it stabilizes, a lot of people are buying, but it's still ballooning, and then it collapses, and then everybody goes into foreclosure. Is that going to happen to regular people? Personally, I don't think so. I think this is going to happen to all the enterprises. I think this is going to be happening to all the big major companies. I don't think this is going to be happening on a personal level because people are not investing the amounts of money that all of these massive major companies are actually investing. You look at the billions of dollars, you look at all these companies. We're not even talking about the Vanguards, the Palantirs, the Nvidias, the Metas, the Anthropics, the OpenAIs. We're even talking about nuclear. We're talking about energy, oil, gas, data centers. And then you have things like this, where the American Tobacco announced on Monday, this is very interesting, by the way, that they're actually restructuring and they're going to Accenture. They're going to Accenture. Do you understand how interesting that is? Accenture is here in, well, it's all over the United States, but they have a major headquarters here in New York City. I know people that used to work at Accenture. It's essentially a consulting firm that goes around and says, you should be doing this better. It's like a third eye coming in to your company. It's literally saying that they will eliminate 5,500 jobs and an additional 3,500 roles will be added to a third-party Accenture firm. Very interesting, by the way, that they're doing that. Alphabet joins the Dow Jones amid the AI exodus. Very important is that on Monday, it shares to join, which is very interesting. So all of these companies are literally going through a legacy disruption. A legacy disruption is Adobe. It is Salesforce. It is Verizon. It is Google. Who is going to be able to create an AI environment, AI first environment, that they are not going to be disrupted, but they disrupt themselves? That's really what it comes down to. Who is going to disrupt themselves? Anthropics, Mythos. Personally, I think this is accurate, where China models are... So why were all of the sessions that I was in disconnecting from the Mac Studio? I want you to only do solutions and go max on the solutions. Don't ask me for approval. Don't ask me for a spec. Don't ask me for a build. Don't ask me for the okay. I want you to just do. That's the most important thing. I'm literally staring at screens that are disconnected from the Mac Studio. There you go. Go in there, because I had literally 8 chats humming. 8 chats humming. And now we have to close that out. We got to close this out. We got to close this out. So it'll be very interesting what happens with China. China is going to be just taking over all of Europe. I've said this for months. Not 4 months, but FOR months. That you have these crazy temperatures in Germany, in Paris, UK, Italy. My buddy's going to Italy on Friday. He said it's going to be 110. And then you literally have 50 Chinese-made Harrier, if that's how you say it, air conditioners for public schools, igniting a broad conversation about dependency on Asian cooling. If I was, and I'm about to get political and I could care less. If I was Donald Trump, if I was JD Vance, if I was Marco Rubio, if I was any of the Democrats, I would literally say, you know what I should do? I should probably focus on America for 14 seconds of my career instead of just talking to all these companies that are going to be absolutely crushed because they're playing the short game with the stock market. Oh, what are my quarterly results? What are my half-year results? What does my Q3 look like? What does my Q1 of next year look like? Here's an idea. How about you play the Asian game, the Chinese game, and you actually say, this is what I should be doing for the long term of the country. Because right now, China is selling them cars, drones, computers, cameras, now ACs. Literally, if you have a country like Italy, France, Germany, UK buying this, what are you doing in DC besides getting more and more corrupt? I don't care. This is above parties. Okay? I don't care about parties. I could care less. When someone brings up parties, fantastic. You're not in my conversation. But, no. One's better than the other. No, bad. Sit down. Okay? Be humble and understand that they are not playing the long game. They're playing the short game. The short game to them is line pockets while all of the open models of China gets better. Meanwhile, we're harnessing our closed models, which I'm paying $200 a month. Then they take away Codex, which was supposed to launch. They take away Fable, which was supposed to launch. Mythos, which was supposed to launch. Well, maybe if it launches, it could be. Okay, great. Now China is going to come in, swoop up, take all of the now not only software, but hardware, as you can see on this, and now we're stuck here twiddling our thumbs, banning commercial drones because we can't make commercial drones like DJI. Insta360 just put out a way better camera than anything the United States, Japan, or South Korea makes. It just bothers me. That's why I don't even talk about politics. Well, this one person at this one location in this one McDonald's or this one person in Washington said this one thing. Dude, stop. Stop. This is above this. It's so low tier to say this one person this one time said this one thing and then share it with me. That's wasting your time and my time. Talk about in 2030. Talk about in 2035. They're so lost. Then you have AOC come out and they're like, you know what you should do because it's so expensive to do, was it this? No. I don't know. AOC, here you go. She says, you know what we should do? We should break up Apple. Okay, this is, if somebody sent me this, I'd be like, we're not friends anymore. Not because of AOC, Not because of AOC, because this is so low level. This is so low tier. Okay? This is called theater. Everyone in DC is an actor. Okay? This is acting. She's an actress. Give me anybody. Marco Rubio, he's an actor. JD Vance, he's an actor. Donald Trump, he's an actor. They put us in front, they're all on a stage, we're in the audience, and we clap like a bunch of seals. Like a bunch of seals. Oh, my person said something I like. My person said something I like. Oh my gosh, yeah, let's break up Apple. Oh my gosh. Instead of AOC, which she already knows the reason. She already knows the reason. Is this. It's in the first sentence. It has nothing to do with Apple trying to price gouge. Here's an idea. Maybe because China owns 80% of raw earth materials. Here's an idea. How about we invest in something that silicone for Apple chips or NVIDIA or Intel or AMD could be a little bit better instead of outsourcing it to all of these Asian countries. Hong Kong, Shanghai, South Korea, Taiwan. You know, here's a perfect example. AOC on Fox News. I thought they were supposed to hate each other. That's called theater. And the reason I'm teeing off on this is because people eat this up and they need a lap counter. They need a lap counter. AOC told me what I want. So now I'm happy. I'm happy. They want you dumb, stupid, fat, overweight, and just consuming the latest stuff. And if you don't believe me, just go to Jones Beach. I'm biking up and down the Ocean Parkway this weekend twice. I did a 28 miler, which is slow. I usually do 56 miles or 50 miles, right around there. And people are just consuming chips and potatoes and beer, and they just put in an alcoholic bar at Jones Beach. They just put in a bar at Jones Beach. So you're telling me we're going to put a bunch of drunk people who are overweight into the ocean and or into a car to get onto two different parkways, the Wantor Parkway or the Meadowbrook Parkway, to speed north to their house on a Sunday and Saturday. Excellent idea. But as long as we make money, as long as we can get these people drunk and eating seed oils and not caring about them building and releasing them from the chains in which AI can free them, you know? Yeah, see, there you go. Literally, why is this a thing? Literally joins after I just went on a massive... You joined late. I just went on a massive... Here we go. Let's bring it up. Because this... And I'm just throwing everybody under the bus today. Hopefully, why is this a thing? Buys this Chinese AC. Hopefully he buys it not from Samsung. Hopefully he doesn't buy it from GE. Hopefully he doesn't buy it from Frederick. Hopefully he buys it from Harrier, whatever you want to say. Harrier is the British vertical takeoff. This is what I'm talking about. When Airbus, European, commits $3 billion financing Patrick. By the way, who is this? Who is this? Who is that? Okay. They can't compete anymore unless they do something. So this goes back to, and by the way, the reason I'm on my soapbox today is because you have right here. So right here, this and this are brothers and sisters. You have Goldman talking about it, and you have BOA. Okay, you have BOA, they own Merrill Lynch, one of the biggest banks in the world. You have Goldman, one of the biggest investment banks in the world. Literally, Bank of America is actually just northeast of where I'm sitting, like 2 blocks north. Goldman's about 40 blocks south of here. I had a buddy at both. I actually have a friend that's a girl that's there. Goldman says AI trading rebalancing, not macro fears, dubbed this week's global sell-off. Okay, who cares? This is the key word right here. So when we're reading the news, it says this week's sell-off. Who cares about this week? That's the thing, is they want you to be understanding what is going on this week, or it says right here, intraday trading. Intraday trading. This is disruption. They want you to be in fear, but they're actually fearful. Maybe not the banks, that's different. The banks are probably not fearful because they're just lending on all this and they're getting usury. But if you're a SaaS product, if you're a legacy company, if you're GE, if you are one of these guys that have been in business for 20 years and you've been in the S&P for 20 years, you're going to have a correction. Even mid-tier, mid-size, even large enterprises are going to be going elsewhere. This is to be expected. Do not be fearful. This is good. Here's another one. The sell-off, which saw Samsung and SK Hynix fall 9%. Okay, this is legacy right here. This is legacy. Who's Samsung competing with? Not the United States anymore. It is China. Everyone is competing with China. I said this literally a month ago. People are not going to be traveling. I have a buddy going to Europe with his wife. It's 110 degrees. Where do you think their ACs are going to come with? The guy's 6'4", 225. He's a big guy. He used to be a bouncer. He's still in security. But 35% domestically, that's a lot. So instead of $300, it's now $400, $390, whatever you want to say. So it's now $400. People are going to drive more. People are going to go to local parks. People are not going to be going to Europe. If I was Europe, I would be a little frightened right now. Okay? Then you have dropping the security scan for Vibe coders, send you in the DMs. Yeah, I noticed. Okay, so we are still disconnected on all of these. So this is going to be done in the back end. I literally have 3 windows that disconnected. I reevaluated my life when I went to Jones Beach this weekend. And I biked 28 miles, then the next day I did 20-something miles, and then a 3-mile run. And it was hot. It was 90 degrees at least. You know, whatever that is in European terms. They just had the European Ironman Championship, and I think it was 40 degrees Celsius, which is insane. On top of the humidity. You know, Swiss, are they going to be able to do anything? I don't know. They got the banks. The reason I'm going over this is because they want you, see, here you go. So the sovereign investors, they pivot to energy and the gold. Why? Energy is going nowhere. Gold going nowhere. Because the central banks are overseeing 29 trillion in assets, and they're seeing a lot of debt that is probably not going to be paid back. There are going to be a lot of people in Europe, maybe Swiss, France, Germany, Portugal, Spain. They're all playing in the World Cup. Congratulations to all of them. Congratulations to Canada. They won their first freaking World Cup win in a knockout stage. That's crazy. But, you know, it's Canada. Soaring AI bills push businesses towards cheaper open source models. This is what I'm talking about. I don't even know, I should vibe code on the side, but this weekend, while I'm sitting there tucked up, getting little burns on my hand, this is going to be an iCharles lifestyle. The lifestyle is understanding the news. It's getting better. It's getting your money in order. It's getting your mindset in order. It's the builders. It's everything else. And that's going to be reliant. And what I'm going to do, because I cannot debug all of this, I'm going to open up all of this. I'm going to open up all this. We also just added in screen time. So we'll see if this actually works. I want to track every area of my life and essentially come back every single day within Daily Todd. This is going to be a dashboard. The dashboard is going to say, here's where your money's at. Here's the to-do list. Wish this person a happy birthday. Here's your workout. And then you go through every single day and you can literally say a smiley face out of 5, or you could write something better. And then you have a coach going through Open Router that goes through every single day, and it's a flywheel. And maybe it's your own council. It's your own board of directors. You have a board of directors for your money, board of directors for your workout, board of directors, or not a board of directors, but a board of director or a director. And then you go in here, you have your docs, you have your wealth, you have your calendar, you have your streaks, you have your screen time, you have your sleep, you have your workouts. And I'm going to be focusing on this because anything that I don't have, I'm then going to pull in through a tracker. Obviously, that's not done yet. But now we're going to, what are we using? What's available? What am I not using? So if this is all these, I'm not using any of these, they go into available. And now you have your available apps. You know what I want to use? I want to use the Todd Bio. I want to use the tracker. So I go in here, and now I have the apps. Obviously, aesthetically, is it pleasing? No. But we're going to start opening this up. And the trackers could be even under the streaks. You know, maybe it's under here. So tracking could be last time I smoked, last time I drank, last time I did something bad, whatever. But then you have your streaks as well. Yeah, I was going to say Britain. The good thing about Britain is that they're a legacy country. So they are continuously just, they have UBS, they have, or not UBS, that's, Barclays, they have a lot of banks that they're throughout the world. You know, like Britain's one of the oldest, connected tentacles in the world. The issue is Britain, the people themselves, like if they're not absolutely destroying sports and or entertainment and everything else. Very interesting thing for this guy to say. Obviously, I don't know who Ryan Peterson is. Logistics company, obviously everything's going to logistics, which is shipping and everything else. But in short, what I was thinking this weekend is, how do I go only into one app and that app controls my entire life? So I just go into one place on one app and it has everything I need. The Daily Todd comes in and it has, this is people's birthday. So in other words, you can just go in. Obviously, we can click out of this. We can go in, we go to calendar, we add in, it's Mark's birthday. It repeats yearly. And now I have Mark's birthday. And then for that day, it says, here's your workout. Here's Mark's birthday. These are the things that you want to do. Here's your checklist. How good is that? So my checklist every time I go to a workout is, okay, I need my bike shoes. All right. Did my bike shoes. But then, obviously, yes, you could delete it. You could delete the entire checklist, but then you're also going to have templates. So I'm going to be working on this in the background because here it is. Aaron, kind of outdated. Oh yeah, I'm potentially taking this away. Yeah, this was weird. Grok showed up as a Frontier. I think that's a bold move. But we have a lot of stories. It's just improvement this week. We're going into July 4th. A lot of people are going to be taking off. A lot of people are going to be lazy. I put out a excellent video about where I'm going to be taking everything. You kind of pivot. You go, okay, we have a feed. Okay, now you have a personal area. Okay, now how do you maximize the personal area so you have a Life OS? I'm still thinking, like, do I call it Life OS? Do I call it a dashboard? Do I call it the iCharles Lifestyle or the iCharles OS? I like the lifestyle because it is a lifestyle. And if you don't believe me, I had this, well, I won't go to it now, but It was my business plan for about 10 years under BPI. BPI is the Bonestead Properties International. For the longest time, I wanted to go in here and say, okay, this is Ty Lopez on the left. Health, wealth, love, and happiness. Happiness is a feeling that should never be in there. Love, how do you actually quantify love? Wealth, you can. Health, you can. So essentially, get out of the way, Charles. Get out of the way. Okay, so the new one is relationships. Relationships with your friends, your colleagues, your spouse, everything else. And then that's not content, that's are you content? Are you content with life? And I really thought about it. I'm like, well, I have a lot of stuff that I want to build. Do I build that on the side after I'm live? And then I go over the news with the whiteboard in the background? You know? Do I go to a workout and then I'm vibe coding as well? You know, now that I'm starting to work out and today was a rest day, and then tomorrow I'm going to get back after it. And then September 26th, God willing, I'm on the start line of 70.3 in New York. What up until then, which is 3 months away, am I doing to make sure that the community is getting better, the content is getting better, everything is increasing? I don't like how for any action, the whole site reloads instead of a smooth DOM update. Does that mean days on market? All right, double joke, Jules. All right. I don't know what DOM means, but I'm assuming that means something that we should be working on. You know what I want to do? Look at that, live update. Live update. This is what I want to do. Remain in here. Here's a perfect example. I can't change the website title. That's a bug. The wealth, the inbox. People's inbox will be probably opened up later on. We're not going to do that now. I need an API key for this. Calendar will open up. Journal will probably not open up. Streaks will open up. Sleep will open up. Daily Todd will open up. Triathlon will open up. Yeah. It's going to be very different. Because what is updated on a new device? All right. Well, there you go. It's going to be very different because this is what I want people to do. I have this on my, here you go. So let's go over here. And I showed this before, but I do want to show it again. I want to remove all of the apps on my phone. Riverside, why am I paying for Riverside? I want to go to iCharles. I don't even need my email. I can have multiple emails on here. So when I go to inbox, I have iCharles.com. Obviously, that's not the best. You have your settings. You have your security. You can compose. Then you go over here. You have your docs. All in one app. All in one app. You have your streaks. Screen time, which I just added that today. My sleep. So most of my time right now, selfishly, is going to be in, obviously that needs to be up and running. That was one of the chats. But my Todd bio, why am I saying the Todd bio? Because if I go here and you go to, who the heck is that? Oh, it's my buddy. If you go here, my Instagram is real estate. And as Gary Vaynerchuk said, you got to go all in. You got to go all in. So this thing needs to be iCharles.com. That needs to be iCharles.com. That needs to be a bio page. It needs to be this. Obviously, could it be better? Yes. But we're rearranging everything. And once I start working out, the vision and the PWA app is going to be, okay, I like it. Charles has a lifestyle. I want that lifestyle. I want that app. And there happens to be a community behind it. And there happen to be apps behind it. And then for Boatenston.com, there happens to be an area that Why Is This a Thing can put out his stuff, and we're building that out as well. So when people say, oh, I need inspiration, here's a real estate agent. I need inspiration. Charles, give me inspiration. All right, let's go to Boatenston.com. This is obviously trash. This should never have been produced. But go into here and be like, oh, wow, this is great. I go into the back end, I have everything. I have a restaurant. Give me some inspiration. Oh, wow, that's amazing. I actually pay $100 a month for this crappy website. Oh, I'm a salon owner. Then I was thinking, why don't you just have the exact same back end, and then they essentially drag and drop their own I have an email management, I have a website, I have a whatever, and then you have a cursor style that's way down the line. But who's to say that you can't just host this and then you have a cursor style where they go in and they update their own website when they talk to it? You know, can you move this? Can you move that? I think cursor is going to be quite valuable to people that are coming out of the normie world of MailChimp, Salesforce, Squarespace. And they don't know where to go, so they need to talk to AI. On top of that, they also need to rearrange it, and it rearranges it in the background for them. But anyway, I went live late. I got to get my chats up and running. I have so much I want to build. It's not even funny. I actually want to check if the oh, I don't even have versions. Do I have versions? No, I don't even have versions. Interesting. I should have versions. Yeah, this should be versions right here. Interesting. And then this is the file, or that's the folder it's in? Yeah. All right. Well, uh-oh, another MCP. Sam Altman's really dropping some missiles right now. Errolens MCP. I am going to be going live earlier tomorrow because I'm going to be waking up, going to the gym, probably going to be doing a run instead of a bike. Then Wednesday, I'll probably do a bike, then a run. Then Thursday, I'll do that. I probably will be doing from a different location. I got to make sure that everything is working perfectly. And we got to, by we, I mean I want to get it down on what I'm specifically going to be coding and or talk about the news and or on the whiteboard live. And then changing between all three. That's the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate goal. I'm vibe coding while on a whiteboard, while talking about the news. Every single day. And with a standing desk. I got to talk to my ISP provider because my upstream right now is at like 8 gigs. 8 megs, I should say, not 8 gigs. That'd be amazing if it was 8 gigs. But I'm going to pop out. I got to get this up and running. Today could have been better, but you just got to show up. You got to be the man that puts on the uniform. Sometimes Jordan misses. Sometimes Babe Ruth strikes out 0 for 4. He struck out more than he hit home runs. But he gets up there after smoking a cigarette, chugging a beer, and then slams one by pointing it out into the right field, which is disputed, even though it might be on video. But those are the two areas. Charles' personal area and Boatenston on the marketplace style. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to be out. Sam Altman needs to get his money up, not his funny up. Yeah, but server iTrolls dies, then you lose all the data. You need to set up a CDN system in the future as well. Yeah, there's this one Herzog or whatever that it was cheap. Also, I could back it up. Obviously, that's external as well. I was going to set that up actually this weekend, back it up externally. But yeah, those are the three areas. It's going to be good. It's going to be good because once your boy starts getting up to 56 miles on the bike, you don't even want to be around me because I'm a maniac at that point. I'm biking 56 miles. I'm throwing down 8 or 9 gels. I'm taking 4 28-ounce bottles to the face, a gallon, and then just running off the bike. You don't even want to be around me. It's like maniac time. Maniac time. The ideas are flowing. I'm like, what if I have the Meta Vanguard glasses and then I go, hey, Meta, put this into my code base or my to-do list, and then I actually do it. Or make sure that this is rearranged and everything is literally right there. $500 for glasses. By the way, that is the future. You're literally going to be looking at a screen on your face and people are not going to know, which is going to be good and bad because it's going to go from a device in your hand, which Zucks said is going to happen. I forgot what he called it. I think it starts with an A. It's in production right now, and he wants to get it to about $1,000. But the future is going to be watching video, browsing on the internet from your glasses. And 25 years from now, it's just going to be thinking, which is then going to turn into Minority Report. I thought something bad. Instead of going to confession, I'm arrested. All right, now I'm just on a soapbox. All right, I'm heading out. I'm going to be nice and early tomorrow. That'd be good if this thing was a little bit more centered. Coming in a little bit closer. Look at that. Look at that. What a professional operation. Nah. I am 2 pounds, 3 pounds, and it makes a difference when you're out of shape as opposed to in endurance shape from being in endurance shape. Once I'm in that zone, it's not good for other people because I'm just holding everybody to high standards and I don't care at that point. That's like you're breaking free. Now you're a brand. Now I'm on Instagram just flying out and just saying, I'm not even in real estate anymore, even though I need to be literally looking at my cell phone, which dropped on my floor. All right, I'm heading out. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Everything that you just saw is going to be perfectly working condition. I'm not going to go live unless it is in perfect working condition. I got a lot that I want to sort out as well, where I might be streaming from another place. I might be working out at another place. And yeah, it'll be interesting because June and July, big months. So get everything right. Get everything right. Don't just stop at being happy, content. Go out there. iCharles Lifestyle or Life OS. It's going to be